Welcome to SKC, Sapna Kohli classes. This is part 2 of the poem How to Tell Wild Animals by Carolyn Wells. We'll be doing stanza number 5 and 6 along with the RTC. The first 4 stanzas of the poem have been explained in part 1 of my video. Let's begin with stanza number 5. Though to distinguish beasts of prey a novice might nonplus, the crocodile you'll always may tell from the hyena thus. Hyenas come with merry smiles, but if they weep, they are crocodiles. Let's discuss the word meanings first. Though. Though means although. To distinguish. Distinguish means to differentiate, to find the difference. Beasts of prey. Beasts of prey are animals which hunt other animals. A novice. A novice is an inexperienced person. Might nonplus. Nonplus means get confused. Nonplus means to be confused. The crocodile you always may tell from the hyena thus. Hyenas come with merry. Merry means happy. Happy smiles, but if they weep, weep means cry, they are crocodiles. Now let's discuss the meaning of this stanza. Though to distinguish beasts of prey, a novice might nonplus. In this stanza, the poet Carolyn Wells presents a contrast, a difference between the behavior of a hyena and that of a crocodile. A novice. A novice, a person who is a beginner and has no knowledge about beasts, can get confused and may not be able to distinguish or differentiate between a hyena and a crocodile. According to the poet, one can identify a hyena by its face. A hyena, while gobbling its prey, seems to be smiling. Tell from the hyena thus, hyenas come with merry. Merry means happy smiles, right? So according to the poet, a hyena, while gobbling its prey, seems to be smiling. But if they weep, but if the animals, if they weep, if they cry, they are crocodiles. It means that a crocodile sheds tears profusely. The smiling and weeping face will make it certain that the animals are hyenas or crocodiles. So, in this stanza, the tone of the poet is humorous, as the hyenas never smile happily, nor the tears of crocodiles are genuine. Now, let's discuss the poetic device in this stanza. In second line, alliteration has been used, right? Novice and nonplus. No sound has been repeated. So this is an example of alliteration. Then again, in the second line, we find poetic license. As I have already explained you in my previous video, that the poet here takes the liberty with language, with grammar, and uses non-plus for nonplussed. Nonplussed, which means to get confused, to make it rhyme with thus, right? So this is an example of poetic license. Now let's move on to stanza number 6. The true chameleon is small, a lizard sort of thing. He hasn't any ears at all and not a single wing. If there is nothing on the tree, it's the chameleon you see. Let us discuss the word meanings. Now, what is chameleon? Chameleon is a lizard-like small creature, right? So, a true chameleon is small, a lizard sort of thing. He hasn't any ears at all and not a single wing. If there is nothing on the tree, it's the chameleon you see. In these lines, there is a description of a chameleon. A chameleon is small in size and looks like a lizard sort of thing. A chameleon looks like a lizard. He hasn't any ears at all and not a single wing. Now, the peculiar features of a chameleon are that it has no ears and no wings on its body. If there is nothing on the tree, it's the chameleon you see. The chameleon has the ability to camouflage. Now, what is the meaning of the word camouflage? Camouflage means to change its color to match with the color of its surrounding. So, a chameleon has the ability to change its color to match with the color of its surroundings. Because of similarity of color, a chameleon mixes with the trees, and it is difficult to trace it. So, if there is nothing on the tree, if you see nothing on the tree, it means that you are seeing a chameleon. Now, you will say, what is the meaning of this line? Here, in the last two lines of the poem, the poet has used the poetic device paradox. Now, what is paradox? Paradox is a statement which seems contradictory, but as we study deeper, we find that it is true. It seems contradictory that there is a chameleon when there is nothing on the tree. But it is true, as one fails to detect, discover, or discern, recognize the chameleon because it hides its presence by blending itself with its surrounding. So that this is the explanation of stanza number 6. So that's all for the explanation of this poem. And now we'll be discussing the RTC. So read the following extracts and answer the questions or complete the statements that follow. Or if sometime when roaming round, a noble wild beast greets you with black stripes on a yellow ground, just notice if he eats you. This simple rule may help you learn the Bengal tiger to discern. The first question is the poetic device used in line 1. So the answer is alliteration. You can see roaming round. R sound has been repeated. So this is an example of alliteration. Next question. The Bengal tiger can be identified from the dash on its coat. So the answer is the Bengal tiger can be identified from the black stripes on its yellow coat. Yellow coat means yellow body. Now, next question. The yellow ground. The yellow ground refers to dash. So it refers to the color of the Bengal tiger's skin. Next question. A word in the stanza that means the same as identify or recognize. So the answer is discern. Discern means to recognize or to identify something. Let's move on to question number 2. If strolling forth a beast you view, whose hide with spots is peppered, as soon as he has leapt on you, you'll know it is the leopard. He will do no good to roar with pain, he'll only leap and leap again. Question number 1. A leopard can be recognized by, second line has the answer, spots on its body. Next question. A person may know that the beast is a leopard if he dash on him or her, if he leaps or jumps on him or her. Next question. It is no use crying in pain because the leopard will leap on its victim again and again. And last question of this extract, a word in the extract that means scattered or sprinkled. The answer is peppered. Peppered means scattered. Question number 3, if when you are walking round your yard, you meet a creature there who hugs you very, very hard, be sure it is a bear. So question number 1, the word you in the first line here is it refers to the reader, right? Next question. The distinctive features of a bear is its. Now, what are the distinctive features of the bear? It is its hug. Its hug is the distinctive feature of a bear. Next question. Your yard here means, your yard here refers to the courtyard. Next question. Which poetic device is used here? If you can see in line 1, the poetic device that has been used is alliteration. Your yard, your sound has been repeated. Right? Now, question number 4. Though to distinguish beasts of prey, a novice might nonplus, the crocodile you'll always may tell from the hyena thus. Hyenas come with merry smiles, but if they weep, they are crocodiles. A novice would get confused to differentiate the crocodile and hyena. The crocodiles are identified in the forest by their weeping or habit of shedding tears. Which word in the extract means the same as in this manner? So the answer is thus. Thus means in this manner. And last question, whose smile is merry? Hyena's smile is merry. Next question. The true the true chameleon is small, a lizard sort of thing. He has not any ears at all and not a single wing. If there is nothing on the tree, this is the chameleon you see. So the first question is, which creature or creatures has or have been described in the extract? So very simple, a chameleon has been described in the extract. Chameleon has been compared with the lizard because because of its small size. It is small in size like a lizard, and the poetic device used in the last two lines is paradox. That's all for this video. If you have liked my video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon for the latest notifications.